on drugs, devices, and vaccines. And the second thing is that it allows you to submit reports of adverse events or side effects that you're experiencing for any of these medical products. So why is this important? Well, if you look at just drugs alone, today, half of Americans take a prescription drug. Meanwhile, over half of all prescription-approved drugs have serious side effects that are not detected before approval. So clinical trials are obviously critical to the process of assessing both efficacy and safety for new medical products before they go on the market. But there are some key limitations to clinical trials. First of all, you have a small sample size. Just the pure size of the population in the trial is going to be a lot smaller than the population that's using the product once it goes on the market. The second thing is that participants in clinical trials are often restricted based on their age, certain aspects of their diagnosis, what other medications they're taking. Again, trial population is going to be different from the population that's using the product once it's on the market. Finally, by definition, clinical trials don't account for off-label usage, which is often a large chunk of the usage. Meanwhile, we have a situation of tremendous underreporting of adverse events. So a recent HHA study found that this is in a hospital setting, that 86% of adverse events went unreported when they looked into the records for this hospital. And meanwhile, the reports that we are getting are coming basically primarily from the pharmaceutical industry. So what's missing from this picture? Well, direct engagement with patients and clinicians. So this is the MedWatcher app. Now this is a mobile app. It's available now for iPhone and Android. You can download it. You can try it out. I'm going to show you the web version here because of the way this is set up. I'll take you through basically how the app works. So the first thing that I will want to do when I sign up is go to the library, search for the medical products that I'm interested in. So I can either search by name or I can browse through, choose from the list of drugs, devices, and vaccines. Once I do that, that will help me set up what we call a watch list. So this is my watch list that you see here on the right-hand side of the screen. These are all the products that I'm tracking. And then based on that watch list, my news feed, which you see on the left-hand side, is automatically populated with up-to-date safety information. That's from news media, that's from reports from other MedWatcher users, that's from reports from the government, and that's from social media. Which I'll talk about more in a second. But then the second thing is, say I experience an adverse event from a product that I'm using. Well, then I'll hit the report button, choose what product I want to report on, and then I fill in some basic information about what happened and the situation from the event. And this is a very rapid form. It takes around 5 minutes to complete. It's very easy, it's quick, it's available in the palm of your hand. Okay, so then there's social media. So this is another piece of the project that we're working on that we're calling MedWatcher Social. Basically here we've collected around 10 million posts so far from social media where we're tracking mentions of medical products and side effects and adverse events. So right now I can search this based on product. So let's say choose Xanax, search that. It's going to show me what are the top side effects that people are mentioning on social media for this product. I can also search the system based on symptoms. So if I'm experiencing a particular symptom, I can put that in, and it's going to show me the top products that people are mentioning for this particular side effect. And then I can drill down into the data and look at exactly what people are saying for these product-symptom associations. So like I said, the MedWatcher is available now. It's live. It's in the app stores. And we have so far several thousand people who have signed up to use MedWatcher. And we've started to see people reporting in adverse events into the system. So I'm going to show you just a sampling of some of the reports that we've received so far. So this is for a drug called Casodex, which is a cancer medication. In this situation, the patient died from liver failure that was associated with the use of this drug. And this situation is interesting because the report comes into MedWatcher from a clinician, but the patient here is actually the clinician's father. And what's also interesting that you see here is that the death certificate shows only the cancer as the cause of death. So again, we have the situation of significant underreporting, where here is this adverse event, that is clearly not being picked up through the existing channels for tracking adverse events. And in fact, this liver failure condition is a known association with this product. It's part of the product warning label, but it's also an extremely rare event. There are only around 8 known cases of this happening, so clearly any kind of information that we have about this association is critical importance for the medical community. Some other interesting reports. Celexa, which is an antidepressant, we had a report from a clinician, a 65-year-old male who committed suicide on the drug. This is a known risk for the product, but the risk is actually indicated on the label only for younger patients. So here we're seeing a little bit of an anomaly for that particular association. And then lastly, we have Qsymia, which is a brand new weight loss medication which has just come on the market. So again, we don't necessarily have a full picture of the safety profile for this product. So any kind of information that we can gather from people that are using the product about what sort of side effects they're experiencing is obviously very interesting. So that's MedWatcher. It's available now. Download it, try it out, follow us on Twitter. We have a booth here, booth number 35. If you're interested in helping us make drugs, devices, and vaccines safer, come talk to us. Thanks very much.
So a sense of who the customer is today, and maybe in the future.
Well, we're funded primarily by the Food and Drug Administration, so our main goal is to make products safer, to address this problem of underreporting, and to help consumers understand their medications. Yes, so as consumers and clinicians, we see as our primary user population. We want to make this really easy to use for both of those groups.
Do all the adverse reports go directly to the FDA from you? And the second question is, if I'm a consumer, I can make an adverse report. Can I also go on your website and see what other people in social media have been saying about the product that I'm worried about?
Yes, exactly. That's exactly right on both counts. So first of all, when someone submits a report into MedWatcher, we review it. We then transmit that directly to the FDA. And then the second question is, yes, you can also see what other people are saying about the medication, both through the more detailed reports that they might submit through MedWatcher, as well as what people are just saying in general on social media about that product. Yeah, so the question is there a missing data problem, given that the more serious and severe the event, the more difficult it is to, obviously, to punch it into a mobile app? Well, I mean, that's certainly an element, but we do have a web application, which should be very easy to use. We also are targeting the clinician population. So I think in general, if it's a very severe adverse event, then that person would have some interaction with a clinician. Maybe they would be hospitalized or from that situation. And we would hope that clinicians who are actually under professional obligation to make these reports, although they don't, in large part, as you saw from that study, that they would have this app at their fingertips, the palm of their hand. They would be able to make a very quick report without that taking up too much time in their clinical workflow.
Thank you very much. We better move on, but that was terrific. Thanks so much, and good luck with the rest of the expo.